Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining me for this video. As you can see from today's title, it's a really exciting one. I have been wanting to talk about this for the longest time just because I have had this in my possession. Excuse my hair, like, you know, it's just one of those days. I have been wanting to talk about this for the longest time. Not longest time, but I have had this for a while, about a week before it was launched, and I had time to play with it. And obviously you guys already know what the video is on, but I've just been so excited to share it with you. So Fenty Beauty has actually launched a new Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation. So if you want to see what my thoughts are on the powder foundations, give you my swatches, things like that, then please keep on watching. Sorry, my setup has changed. I'm currently filming on my phone. Let me know what you think of the quality. I think I asked that in my previous video, which was the Fenty Skin one, I believe, I hope. Here is the packaging of the foundation. Right here is the powder foundation. It comes in 50 shades, I believe, same shades as the liquids. So if you don't have the liquids, I would say obviously try the liquids, they are amazing, but this powder one, you need it. The award-winning foundation that forever changed the game is now in a long wear light as air powder to deliver a light to full coverage in a non-cakey soft matte finish in 50 shades. So it's fast, flawless and easy. That I can just tell you right here is super duper true. It claims in this foundation that it is long wear, light as air, no flashback, blur, filter complex to deliver ultimate blurred finish, sweat, humidity and crease resistant, buildable, light to full coverage formula that loves to be layered, won't settle into fine lines, clog pores or cake up. It reduces the appear of shine and is chic, portable powder compact that fits in hand. They do advise you can use this on top of your foundation as an extra. I know a lot of people love that. Sometimes I find with powder foundations, you never really see me wearing them just because I find personally that when I apply powder foundation, even just without liquid foundation, it's very heavy, it's cakey, it doesn't work for my skin. I never really use them. I might use them sometimes on top of like a light coverage foundation if I want that added extra, you know, zhuzh of coverage. But this one right here, may I tell you, it's not cakey, it's not heavy, it's light, it's covered, it's there. So the two shades I'm going to be using are 290 and 260. You can obviously layer this, like I said, on top of your foundation, the Fenty ones or any other foundation, or you can just use it by itself, which I actually prefer to use because it just looks amazing on top of the skin. I'll insert some photos I did the first time I ever used it. I have got some photos, I will insert them here. Just look at my skin, no filter, no editing, anything. I don't really edit much anyway. But yeah, highly recommend. So we're just going to go straight into it so I'm not faffing around too much. I've already primed. I've primed using the Wet n Wild Prime Focus Primer, hydrating, just because, especially with powder, I'm going to be applying a lot of powders today. I just want to make sure that my base is hydrated. If I was to just go in with a liquid foundation that had like hyaluronic acid in, I'd sort of like, that would be my added hydration, but I don't always go in with primer. I do ever so now and then. This is what the actual package of the foundation looks. Like I said, I'm going to be using the shades 290 and 260. I am normally a 260 or 290 in the Pro Filter foundations, the hydrating and the matte one. I'm either or. If I just show you, when you open this up, this is what the foundation actually looks like when it's opened. Obviously it has the little logo, it has a little cute mirror, and then as you lift it up, I don't want this for, oh, mine's gone, I used mine. It has a little powder puff, which is the difference between the two shades that we have going on. So we have the shade 290 here, and then we have the shade 260. Here we have 290, and here we have 260. 290 is maybe just like a shade darker. I do find that 290 is slightly a little bit more warmer in tone than 260, and 260 is very neutral, so that they can both really work. But I prefer to use 260 to set my under eyes. I don't want that bright added effect, so that's why I use that for under eyes. But if you want that really brightening effect, then go for it. Okay, so I have actually gone in and concealed my under eyes. The concealer that I used is the Stila Pixel Perfect. You guys need this, it's incredible, great coverage. Now you're probably wondering, why have I gone in with concealer first? I know a lot of people do foundation and concealer. Obviously, because it's a powder, you don't want to layer a concealer on top of a powder, or like a liquid on top of a powder. Now, may I just say, like, if you just want to like spot like you don't want heavy coverage and you just want to go out light for the day, apply a concealer, apply a bit of the foundation, and you are good to go. I'm going to show you how it can be full coverage. We don't want to go too full coverage, like you won't get cakey with this, I personally feel, anyway, from the times I've used this. So I've obviously concealed. The best brush I can sort of advise you to use with this, now I know a lot of you guys might be a bit sus about this, but I actually think you can use quite a lot of brushes with this. I loved using the 110 foundation brush from Fenty. This is great. I'm going to apply this today to show you. But something also like the Real Techniques 200 brush, or one of the iconic London like powder brushes, or even like a blush brush. These are great for really stippling on the product. And these ones will allow you to not be too heavy. These ones will add a little bit added coverage, I personally feel, anyway, from experience. So I am going to, sorry if you can hear my chair creaking, I am going to go in with the Fenty foundation brush, the 110 brush. It hasn't got much on it, 290, and I'm just gonna grab whatever's on, just add a little bit. You can see it applies on there. It looks really orange, it generally isn't. And then I'm gonna just take it on. You can sort of apply it like a foundation, like I usually would, but you might just want to just start placing it on the skin where you need the coverage. Obviously avoid the eye area, just because you're going to go in with the lighter shade in a moment, but it might look quite dark at first. I did find that, I was thinking to myself, oh my god, is it too dark? But over a while I did find that like you only really need it in the places where you want added coverage, or like you'll find that because it's a powder, it's more finely milled, it's going to be a little bit more visible and look a little bit dark. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but yeah, I'm just going to apply this where I usually would. It applies on really lovely. It doesn't apply on drying. What I will do is I'll use this brush on this side, and then I'll use more of a fluffier brush on the other side, just so you guys can see. It's going to apply this on the forehead now. It doesn't apply like dry, or it doesn't apply heavy or anything like that. I'm not looking in a mirror right now, so I'm probably missing so many areas, but it is a really, really lovely base. I'll show you in a minute. Let me just do the rest of this side and then I'll come back. Okay, so this is this side done. Obviously I haven't set my under eyes yet. It does look a little bit warmer just because I like that, and my body is a lot warmer, so it does match. But you can, I think you can visibly see that I've got foundation on one side of my face compared to the other. Now you might think, oh, this isn't loads of coverage. A lot of people will love this. May I say, over throughout the hours, when your oils mix in with your foundation, it will look absolutely gorgeous. I will say that this looks beautiful on top of the liquid one that I have right here. This looks absolutely phenomenal on top of the liquid one and also the matte one. But I personally prefer this just because it's a soft matte. You don't want to add too much mattifying unless you're oily. But if you're like me, who's normal to dry skin, normal to combination skin, that this might be a really, really nice one for you. You can work with it for a while. It doesn't dry down like cakey or anything. It doesn't really have like a drying thing, but it sort of dries down. It's like your natural skin. It's just stunning. It's really, really stunning. And sometimes I like my normal skin seeping through personally, because then when you add more like powders and things like that, it just looks flawlessly airbrushed. I'm gonna take more of a fluffier brush. This is like a smaller one. This is one of my all-time favorite brushes. This is from Superdrug in the UK. I'm gonna take, obviously again, the powder foundation, and I'm just gonna take this, swirl it on, and we'll see how this applies on this side, and you guys can sort of see a difference. Sorry, I'm not using my usual camera. I'm literally just using my mirror, my camera lens to see what's going on. But can you just see, it's really, really lovely. It might not look great right now, but I promise you, when I take photos, this photographs beautifully. And you know what I love? If you was to be a makeup artist and you wanted to, like, you was on a shoot and you didn't have time and you was in a rush, like, just go over with this. Just go over with this, because you don't need to faff around with getting liquids out, and it's literally just one brush, and that you can take it with you. If you was on the train in the morning and you just want to, you know, I do probably look a little bit darker right now. I promise this is more of like my summery shade, but it does match. I promise you that. It sits on the skin so nice. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Might go a bit harder on this side. I know we use the more of the compact brush, the more of the denser brush, but it's so lovely. Like, I'm building, like, I'm going in quite a lot, and by now if I was to use like a really heavy, cakey powder foundation, this would be an absolute hot mess right now. But it feels really lightweight. My skin still feels hydrated. You can still see that glow where I had the primer, so you don't have to worry. But it's lovely. It's really, really nice. So now I'm going to take more of a powder brush just to set underneath the eye, and we are going in the Scott Barnes 64. Love this one. I'm going to take the shade 260. Sorry if you can hear in the background, my family are home. It is the Christmas holidays. It's 2 days before Christmas. You might be watching this maybe like the 27th, I believe. Yeah, I'm just going on top just to make sure that my eyes don't crease. This foundation doesn't set into like pores or anything like that. So I'm just going to go on top just ever so slightly. And then like if it's a little bit too bright or too dark underneath, oh look at that. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see, but if it's a little bit too dark in the pore area, just add a little bit of powder and it's just beautiful. It's so nice. I generally feel as if I won't need to use like loose setting powders anymore. I'm going to try and see if I can grab this in a really light colour, maybe like in the 100s, or I don't know if they're in the 100s. No, they should be. But look at that. I don't know if my skin is going to be able to pick this up. I'm going to try and see if I can focus, but it's just so beautiful. Sorry, that's just residue glitter. What we're going to try and do now is I'm going to do the rest of my base off of camera, do my eyes, which I'm also using for a YouTube video, and then I'll come back to you with my final thoughts after a few hours.
I've done the rest of my face makeup, as you guys can see.
If I come up close and show you my skin, I'm sorry that I'm not using my camera currently. You'd probably see better on my camera. Now, personally, you guys can see it doesn't look oily. It does look a little bit shiny just because I've added highlight and whatnot, but it's not looking cakey. It's not feeling cakey. It's not feeling heavy. It's not looking too matte. Like, it's like a really soft, velvety matte kind of feel. I can't explain it, but it's such a lovely finish. I really, really like it. I have zero complaints. This video is not sponsored in any way, shape or form. I have obviously worked with Fenty on sponsored posts on my Instagram, but on YouTube, this isn't sponsored in any way, shape or form. I personally think this is something that you guys need. I generally feel this to be an absolute godsend. Sorry, it's my chair if you can hear the squeaks. This foundation will be an absolute godsend for mature skin, even younger skin like mine. I'm only 21. I have to say that now because like I usually say 20 and then I turned 21 last week. So I'm just like, oh, the chair's so annoying. I do apologise. But yeah, I've got absolutely no complaints. It looks really, really lovely. Let me see what it's doing for my skin. Even moulding in with like the concealer and the other powders, it's just working well. So it works great with creams and it also works well with powders. I didn't apply a lot of powder today. Obviously the blush, the bronzer and all of that is all the powder, all powder products. But yeah, I have literally zero complaints. If you want to see the eye look and the lips, then I'm going to have a YouTube up using a new palette that I've been using. You might already see the video already on my Instagram, but I'm going to be reviewing a new eyeshadow palette and like lip set from a collaboration with Juvia's Place. But yeah, I have zero complaints. Do I recommend this foundation? Yes. Is it something that I feel as if I'm going to use a lot more? Yes. I am not a powder person at all. I think you guys know that, but this is a yes from me. And I don't just think it's because it's Fenty. I just generally think because it's well formulated, great formula. I love that it comes with 50 shades. Again, Rihanna has hit it on the nail on the head here. Can't really complain. Sorry, I need a little bit. And yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. If you're new here, I'd love if you could subscribe. It'd mean the world. I hope you've had a lovely Christmas and I hope you have a beautiful new year, and I'm sending you my love. Bye.